As usual, I just haven't been in the mood to be playing Star Stable, so that's no surprise here. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, some game things related and just some non-things related, and I just want to do a little bit of a train with me. Okay. I just want to do a little bit of a train with me to just talk about kind of anything and everything in the book. So first things first I want to talk about is the new like rainbow update. Obviously, I haven't been that invested, but they brought back the rainbow horses. They also brought back the rainbow race, which doesn't feel the same way. Like, it doesn't feel the same rainbow race that we usually have with the horseshoes and everything, because they have you do it twice, like the race twice, as if you have to collect more horseshoes, but that's back. I don't know how to feel about that. I kind of just missed the whole rainbow world or whatever that place was at. So it's kind of disappointing that it was almost like an opt-out for that. But overall, I'm liking the new clothes. We got some new clothes. I don't think we got anything new in the token shop, nothing of that caliber. This is like me first logging on after like 2 weeks, so I have not been grinding or farming summer tokens, which honestly, the summer items that we have this year aren't that bad, but they're not my favorite. Like, we've got like these golden like bangles or whatever, and then we got like some cute stuff in here. They're not personally my favorite, but they're not bad either. I'm honestly just trying to find a race real quick because I've done all like the summer token races, so I'm gonna try and do a race real quick. But I want to talk about the rainbow, not the rainbow horses, but the new upcoming horses that were released on Star Stable's channel. They released it today, and they're like 2 horses, one's a butterfly and one's a moth. Honestly, I'm not sure about the concept. When I first saw it, this was like my first time seeing it, like concept ideas. I don't know if they had any spoilers prior to the video, but I'm just kind of not sure what to expect. They're not like bad, I just wasn't expecting that design. Like, one's a moth and one's a butterfly. I mean, it's almost like the same like horses that we got from the Rainbow Festival with the Pegasus and like the fake wings and everything. So I mean, it's not a bad idea. I don't know when they're going to be released. I don't know why I thought they were released today. I think they're going to be released this week or next week. I'm not sure. I didn't even know that we were getting new horses for this whole like summer days festival thing, so I was honestly just kind of surprised and taken aback about that. Honestly, as per usual, I'm just waiting until it's being released before I actually give my full opinions and thoughts. I also just want to quickly show you guys my preset, my Reshade preset, just in case if I don't link it down in the description box below, you guys know what it is. But first and foremost, okay. I was just like going through my presets just to see what kind of vibes I was looking for, and honestly, this is really giving like spring summery vibes. I'm not exactly sure, like the 4th of July vibe, so I don't know if, you know, that's what I really wanted to go for or whatever, but I probably should have gotten one of my unicorn horses, but that's completely fine. I'm honestly just trying to find another race to do. Should we just go back to Valdale?
This is so sad.
So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I kind of want to talk about something that has completely nothing to do with the game itself, unrelated topic, but just something that I feel like I need to have a bit of a discussion with. Remember, these are all my thoughts and opinions, so let me know down below what you guys think of it and everything, and please be kind. I'm not trying to come for anybody's like ship or whatever. Everybody can ship whoever they want, but the Summer I Turn Pretty is returning this July 16th, and honestly, I'm stoked. Personally, I'm Team Jeremiah. I honestly just feel like the ending should be like Team Belly, because honestly, she really is the one with the problem. She is going back and forth between these 2 boys. She obviously wants Conrad, but then she goes to Jeremiah, and she like flip-flops between the 2, and I find it very annoying and toxic of her, because it's like she doesn't know what she wants, and it's almost like she needs to figure that out first and foremost before she starts jumping from guy to guy. Because she goes to Jeremiah, she's giving Jeremiah a chance because Conrad obviously has some things that he needs to figure out, and Conrad isn't really giving her the time of day, so she goes to Jeremiah. Jeremiah gives her the time of day, and the second that Conrad shows up and gives her any kind of attention, she wants to go back to Conrad, and it's just an off and on type of thing. So honestly, Belly just needs to figure out what she wants for herself first and foremost before she tries to get with these 2 boys. And another thing that makes me wonder, why is it she chooses to be be with the two boys that like she's known ever since she was like a little girl. Like if it was me personally that I've grown up with and I've known them since we were like literally babies in diapers, I wouldn't feel any kind of romantic attraction towards them. I would be like, well, you know, these are like my like brothers, even though we're not actually like related. These are like my brothers. They're family to me, and I don't see them as nothing more than just family. I don't see them as a potential love interest. I don't even see them as like someone that I could date in the future. Like they're just friends to me. But obviously that's not the case with Belly. So obviously I feel like both boys, both Jeremiah and Conrad, have their own issues. Like they're not perfect. I'm not claiming any one of them to be perfect, but the reason why I feel like I'm more team Jeremiah mainly is because the dude can communicate. Obviously, like I stated before, Conrad and Jeremiah have done some pretty sneaky things, whether it's out of pure anger, out of jealousy, whatever the case may be. It wasn't right, you know. Obviously we know why it was done and why they were acting the way they were acting, but that doesn't excuse their behavior. And the reason why I can get with Jeremiah a lot more compared to Conrad, despite Conrad being the first love and being the person that Belly like really wants to be with and all this extra stuff, I prefer Jeremiah just because the dude knows what he wants. The dude from the very beginning knew who he wanted. Yeah, he might have had a few summer flings here and there, but they were never anything serious. They were just that of a summer fling. It wasn't anything. He wasn't looking for an actual relationship with those summer flings. It was just what it was, a hookup, just something to just pass his time by, while Conrad doesn't exactly know what he wants. He doesn't know what he's looking for, really. He's not sure if he wants a actual relationship or if he's just looking for a hookup like Jeremiah. I'm honestly not sure what the guy wants. It's never really clear what he wants until he starts to see Belly in a brand new light. And for one thing, the dude can't communicate. The dude cannot express his feelings to the person that he's supposed to be in love with ever since he was a little kid. And I quote from the show that he even told Cleveland, like, I only saw her as a kid or a sister or a sibling. He never once saw her as like a potential love interest when they were younger. And there's a lot of people twisting the narrative saying that, oh, because of that she was like a little girl, he couldn't date her, so that's why he loves her ever since he was like a little kid and everything. And I'm just sitting up there like, how are you going to twist what Conrad said in this show, saying that ever since they were little, he's only saw her as like a child, a kid, a sister, whatever. He never saw her the way he sees her this summer. So it's kind of interesting that people are trying to change and switch up the narrative, saying that, oh, it was because she was like basically a little girl and he was just waiting for the right time for her to be of age to date and all that stuff. And it's just like, no, he never saw her in that way. And I feel like Conrad is like the type of person, again, he doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know how to communicate, but it's funny how he's able to communicate these feelings to his brother about how it physically hurts for him to be together, or it physically hurts him that he can't be together with Belly and he wants to be with her and all this extra stuff, but he can't tell that to her. And Jeremiah will be the first to say like, hey, I have feelings for you, you know? Like there's just so much going into this that is like making me root for Jeremiah a lot more than Conrad, despite Conrad being the quote-unquote first love and being the one that Belly truly wants to be with. I still stand by the fact that Jeremiah is and forever will be the better option compared to Conrad. Until Conrad can basically get his mess together and to basically figure out what he wants for himself, until he can figure that out for himself, I just can't physically see myself shipping him with anybody. Like he really shouldn't be in any kind of relationship, especially what he's going through. Now, I do want to preference that I do understand that Conrad is going through a lot right now. He's going through the grievance of his mother. He's also like trying to cope with the idea that he will no longer have a mother in his life anymore. And I get that. Trust me, I understand that. But that is no excuse, or that's no justification for treating people like Belly, his mom, Laurel, and everybody else the way that he does. Because everybody's going through some stuff. And even in the books, both brothers knew that their mother had cancer and that she wasn't doing anything to basically get rid of it again. She's not taking any more chemo. She's just basically accepted. And basically both boys already knew that. But you have one who's like trying to make the most of whatever they've got left with their mother, while the other one is being a jerk, being very short-sighted, being very non-communicative with his quote-unquote love interest. And as of right now, I'm rewatching The Summer I Turned Pretty as we speak before the season 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty comes out. So I just really want to understand the Conrad fan community, because I really want to understand what exactly do they see in Conrad to ship them with Belly. And honestly, the only thing I can possibly see that would make sense for them to be shipped together is that they both actively cheated. Like, everybody's so quick to talk about what Jeremiah did and how he cheated on Belly, which, mind you, he didn't cheat on Belly. Last time I checked, in order for you to cheat on anyone, you need to be actively together with that person. And whether Conrad and Nicole were exclusive, or whether Belly and Jeremiah at the time were exclusive, or whatever, doesn't matter. It's the fact that she was actively talking with somebody else, and so was Conrad. Conrad was talking with Nicole, and at the time, Belly was talking with Cameron or whatever. And it's like she was about to actively cheat on Cameron with Conrad during that fireworks scene that everybody seems to be like, oh, Jeremiah tried to blow both Belly. It's so funny because I even rewatched it and I was just like, that firework was nowhere near them. And no, was it right? Was it morally right? No. But for y'all to say and switch up the narrative and say, oh, he almost blew up Belly and Conrad with the firework, meanwhile the firework wasn't even nowhere near them, the firework wasn't anywhere in there, you know? And it's just so funny how people are literally trying to make Jeremiah the villain here and make him seem like like an actual evil person. Honestly, like I said, Jeremiah shouldn't have done that. That wasn't right. But for you guys to go as far as to say that he was trying to basically off them is completely crazy to me and just doesn't make sense. Like, it's not Jeremiah's character. It's never been that deep for him personally to just, do that to his brother. It doesn't make sense. It's not in his character. And all I'm hoping for in season 3 is that Belly makes the right decision. I know in the books she got with Conrad. I personally can't understand that. I don't know how, and I don't exactly know why she got with Conrad at the end of the 3rd book, but she really shouldn't have. And I know Bonrads and Jellyfish fans are gonna have their own reasonings as to why they ship her with that particular brother, whether they ship her with Jeremiah, Cameron, or Conrad. Honestly, if we're really talking about a healthy option here that we didn't really get to see too much was Cameron. Yeah, they were a little awkward here and there, but they were definitely a cute couple for what they were. But anyway, back to why I'm just like, she should end up with either herself, because I'm letting you guys know, if she ends up with Conrad in season 3 of the show, it's going to be an issue because it does not make sense to me. I'm not a fan of Conrad and I never will be. And people always keep saying, well, did you read the books? Did you read the books? You should look back at the books. And meanwhile, the show is actually doing Conrad some favors. The show is actually making Conrad a lot more likable compared to in the books. Because in the books, I've never personally read the books, but in the books, like based on what everybody has been saying about the books, he is no better in the books than he is in the show. Like, it's crazy how everybody's just like, remember book 3, remember book 2, he was this, that. Like, I'm like, he was insufferable in the books. If anything, the show is trying to make him a little bit more likable. I still don't like him, but it's trying to make him a little bit more of a potential love interest. Like, I just feel like I would rather have a guy who knows how to communicate rather than someone who refuses to communicate or just doesn't want to talk about it and just shut it down. Because even in the show, like I said, I'm rewatching The Summer I Turned Pretty. Even in the show, when people ask him like, hey, what's going on with you? And even though they're coming up with their own assumptions, one scene that really got me angry though was when Laura, I'm pretty sure however you say her name, went to go talk to Conrad out on the patio, and before the guy got a chance to even say anything, she immediately cut him off. Like, she immediately was like, okay, back in my day, you know, this was that, this, that, and third. And it's like, she didn't even give him a chance to say what he wanted to say, because I feel like he definitely was going to open up at that point if she had just shut her mouth and let him speak. But I digress. Even when that scene when Belly was asking him like what was going on, he looked like he was about to open up to Belly before Conrad, or before Jeremiah and Steven came out of the house. It looked like he was about to say what has been on his mind, but immediately was shut down or cut off again. But when Conrad's mom, Savannah, tried to talk to him when she was painting his portrait in the show, and she was basically trying to have like some sort of short conversation with him, just a little bit of something to get the conversation going, because obviously it looked like he was going through a lot, and she just was just trying to talk to him, just kind of feel him out. And the thing is, Conrad couldn't even entertain her for a little bit. She was just trying to ask about, you know, the relationship between Nicole and Conrad, and maybe it wasn't any of her business, but it's not like she was actively asking like, hey, what's going on between you and Nicole. It was just her like asking like a question like, is everything okay with Nicole, you and Nicole, and everything like that. And he immediately shut her down. He didn't even give her the time of day. He didn't even entertain her for a little bit. Like, it's just so crazy. He shut down immediately. He was like, yeah, I'm not in the mood to talk about this right now. And maybe he wasn't in the mood, but like, it's like, even if he was in the mood to talk about something, it's like he doesn't want to talk about it. Same thing in like, I think it was, okay, same thing in season 2, where both Jeremiah and Conrad needed to have a talk with Belly to basically see where they stood with Belly, and basically letting Belly choose who she wants to be with, whether it's Jeremiah or Conrad. And it was like Conrad didn't want to talk about it, but Jeremiah was like, well, that's too bad. You know, like, you need to have a conversation with Belly. You need to let her know how you are feeling, and if there's ever going to be a you and her moment, because it's like Jeremiah likes her and Conrad likes her, but unless, you know, Conrad says something, it's like he's gonna be out of luck. And honestly, Jeremiah is better than me, because it's the way I would have pursued Belly, even if Conrad didn't know he liked Belly at the time, because it's the way that Jeremiah gave Conrad an equal playing field with him by saying like, you need to go talk to her. You need to let her know how you feel about her. Let her know and let her decide who she wants to be with, because it's clear as day that you like her and she likes you, and I don't want to be in the way. I don't want to be in the middle of a potential relationship between you two if there's obviously something there. So you need to go talk to her. You need to go let her know how you feel. And it's sad that Jeremiah, of all people, has to be the one to basically tell his brother to go talk to the love of his life to rectify something. It's ridiculous. And it really just shows Jeremiah's maturity, because he really said that if you guys end up becoming a thing and you guys both want to be together, I will back off. I will leave her alone. I will leave you alone, and I will just, you know, back out. And honestly, again, that is real mature coming from someone who obviously is in love with her too, to say, hey, if she wants you, then I'll let her have, you know, because he even says in the show that if it was anybody else, he would have fought. He would have fought for her. But considering that it was his brother, he was like, if you want to be with her and if you love her, I'm willing to let her go, because I want you to be happy and I want her to be happy. And if she's happy with you and if that's what she needs right now, then I'm going to back away. I'm going to back off. That's exactly what he said. And when he went to go tell Belly how he felt and everything, what was on his heart, he didn't exactly tell her every single thing that was in his heart, but that's his problem. That's, at the end of the day, that's his fault. That's his loss. He had the opportunity to tell her what he needed to tell her. And the end of the thing is, she chose Jeremiah in season 2. Fast forward to book 3, season 3, 4 years into a comedic relationship between Jeremiah. Like, it's the fact that she has a longer relationship with Jeremiah compared to Conrad. Like, Conrad and Belly only lasted like a couple of months, I think. think at best. But if I'm not mistaken, both Belly and Jeremiah lasted a good 4 years together before they decided to get engaged and basically tie the knot, which is just like mind-boggling to me, that the person that you never thought you could ever see yourself being with, you actually lasted longer. And that probably doesn't really matter to a lot of people, because like, hey, you can have a lifetime with a person and it can still not be the right person. So honestly, that doesn't mean anything really, but it's just, you know, surprising that you've dated literally both boys. You've dated Jeremiah and you've dated Conrad, and it's clear as day who the better option is for you. But I digress. Whoever she wants to choose is whoever she wants to choose, but it's the way, if she chooses Conrad, I honestly would rather her choose the dirt that she walks on. Like, I would rather have her choose the dirt that she walks on rather than choosing Jeremiah or choosing Conrad. It doesn't make sense in the books, and it doesn't make sense in the show if she chooses Conrad, because even though Conrad and Belly have some cute moments together, those cute moments are easily overshadowed for me of all the things that Conrad has either said out of pure anger at her, or just have said to her. Like, whether it was supposed to be cute, cheeky, flirty, whatever was said that was coming out of Conrad's mouth, it was always like something very slick, sly with him. And I personally could never get behind that personally. But he's always made it a goal or like a secret mission of his to let Belly know, like, hey, you were obsessed with me. You had feelings for me. You were in love with me ever since we were kids. You wanted me, not the other way around. Because if this was the same guy that you guys swear up and down that he was head over heels for her, he was in love with her ever since he was a little kid, he would have let her know. You know, he would have told her, like, you know, I felt the same way ever since we were kids. I've had feelings for you, yada 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 yada. But he's always made it a point to say, like, hey, you had feelings for me, not the other way around. You're the one who chased me ever since we were kids, not the other way around. And it's the second that she ends up with Jeremiah, or she chooses Jeremiah or whatever, he's all like, his over egotistical self is always like, so are you doing this to get back at me? Are you doing this because you're feeling some type of way about me? Like, boy, for once in your life, it's not about you. It's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. This is about Belly and Jeremiah's relationship. This has nothing to do with getting back at you. Like, that's crazy. And it's the way that, like I said, there's a lot of moments between Belly and Conrad that they have together that are very cute. But again, it really does overshadow, like, it really undershadows actually everything that he's said and done to Belly, whether it was in the books or in the show. He ain't no better in either of them. So that's like just basically my little take on that. I'm sorry if I was going on a whole tangent, a whole little random session. It's just, I am so passionate about Jeremiah and Belly, and honestly, Jeremiah doesn't even, like, Belly doesn't even deserve Jeremiah. I just feel like Jeremiah deserves so much better. Jeremiah can do so much better. Like, Jeremiah can get any girl or any guy that he wants. It's just, he's just that guy, you know? And Belly just doesn't deserve someone like Jeremiah, someone who's willing to communicate his feelings, someone who's open about how he feels towards her, and he takes every chance he gets to let her know that he has feelings for her. And it's just like, how do you choose the emotionally unavailable guy with the emotionally available guy who wants you? You know, like, it genuinely doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna stop it right there. Let me know down below your guys' thoughts and opinions on that, and if you guys want me to talk about it a little bit more, because I definitely have some strong feelings for Jeremiah and Belly to either be together in the 3rd season, or she just ends up with herself. She chooses herself, or she just chooses something better for herself, because she should not be with Conrad. She should not be with Conrad in the books. She should not be with Conrad in the show. And it's the way that people will bring it back and say, like, oh, well, the show, or well, the book, in book 3 she gets with Conrad. And it's like, if you guys watch Vampire Diaries, or if you guys read the books, Elena was supposed to end up with Stefan, but she ends up with Damon in the show. So sometimes the show writers and even the book author will change up the ending and that's kind of what I'm hoping for the Summer Return Pretty Season 3. I'm hoping that in some way, shape, or form, they're going to change up the ending. They're gonna have everyone think that she's going to choose Conrad, but at the very end, they're either going to leave it very open-ended for you guys to come up with your own happy ending of who she chooses in the end, or she either ends up by herself or she chooses Jeremiah, because it just doesn't make sense for her to end up with Conrad. And I'm hoping Jenny Han will see that and be like, you know, let's have the Conrad girlies have the books and have the Jeremiah girlies have the show. Like, please, I'm begging that to be the case. All in all, I don't really have any hatred towards Conrad or really anybody. I just don't like how he treats Belly in the show. I don't like his behavior or his actions. Despite understanding why he acts the way he's acting, that doesn't give him a free pass to treat everyone else like garbage just because he's going through some mess. I mean, there's a lot of characters that, you know, are going through like mental health that are depicted a lot better than Conrad, like Marcus Baker from Ginny and Georgia. He's obviously battling his own demons. He has depression and all this stuff, so he's going through a lot, but he never misses the opportunity to let Jenny know how he feels about her, that he loves her and all of this stuff. Like, he never leaves it up to her just assuming. He lets it be known that he has feelings for her and that he wants her to be happy. He shows up for her. He is always there for her when she needs him. It's like they were obviously, both Ginny and Marcus were battling their own demons, and it's like he was always there for her. So I just feel like he's obviously just the better option. And I just feel like Conrad was supposed to be Marcus Baker, but they missed the mark entirely. Obviously, it's clear as day I can go on and on about these two. I can go on and on about this show, but obviously I don't want to take up too much time. I just wanted to do a little bit of a talk, a little chit chat moment. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it off right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys all in the next video. Bye everyone.